All right, Capricorn, here we go. There's a little too much white space above there, huh? This is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. I'm trying to get all my words together. It is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Yeah, always check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising sign because it's part of you. I hope you get to check out the extended video too. It's the heartbeat of Born Without Boundaries. The link is right below, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. If you want even more astrology and spiritual content, I'm going to attach a link above to my second YouTube channel, Astrology Motivation, where I go live and post pick-a-cards and all kinds of cool stuff over there. So I hope you can enjoy that too. And if you want to go live with me every day, just find me on Instagram through the link in the description box or on the banner little Instagram icon on the header of this channel. Let's go. Interesting energies for you in the horoscope. Love is definitely, or challenges. Let's say this. Challenges, like changes in your love life with your lover are changing you. They're just requiring a very dynamic shift in perspective. If not requiring, they're demanding. And I think that that's really just part of this whole coming out of the cocoon period that everybody's going through. But it's interesting how with you, it's so focused on love and your heart space and how you want to be loved and what that means for you. Venus is conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. That's your first house. So it's orchestrating this conjunction, this extreme energy of transformation is really first house. It's transforming who you are. It's transforming maybe some of your belief systems. Now this relationship, love, doesn't necessarily have to be romance. Romance is more ruled by Leo or the sun, right? Venus rules how we want to be loved, how we receive love, you know, and what we expect from others in terms of that. And so this could be, you know, love in its many faces and dynamics, but definitely how somebody can love you is really changing you. And I don't think it's for the worse. I think it's for the better. It's a challenge. And so if you're waking up after this year and finding, I've changed, wow, I've changed a lot, you know why? You know why? Because Pluto has been hanging out there with you. It's going to be there for a little while longer, I think, till 2023. So there's heavy transformation energy coming, especially maybe through you and how you love somebody, right? Maybe you're the transformer in somebody's life, the difference. And how can that not affect you? So there's always enough. Are you dealing with a Pisces? Or is this just the energy of when we attach ourselves to God? I'm going to start out very esoteric, and then we'll get more practical about how this translates into everyday life. Okay, guys? So if we think about Pisces energy, it asks us, how do you connect to God? How do you expand? How do we grow? Right? If we just sit around and use the same things that are in front of us, then all we're doing is recycling things. Nothing new is coming in. But the world now is very different than the world 100 years ago. So we must have a capability outside of the tangible, five senses, reality world. We must have some connection, because every once in a while these huge breakthroughs happen that push all of us forward and change our world. Change what planets we know exist, change how we can communicate with each other, change how we can interact with each other in transportation or information and data processing. All of those things have changed so much, right? So the world as we know it expands and grows through this Piscean energy. because Piscean energy is not bound by 5 senses and 3 dimensions. It's outside of time, and it's the imagination. And so there is always enough in that you are, in a lot of ways, forced into a space that's probably very uncomfortable for you, but also liberating for you, this impossible circumstance and situation that's just making you expand and grow. So there's something here in your life. Maybe you had to hit the ground running. You had to be extremely creative. You had to be, there's a lot of passion here too. Pisces are very passionate and focused, right? And in order to trust this energy, you had to just have faith. Because for you, you are the opposite of this energy. You are tangible, 3D world. What's in front of me? What's practical? What's here? Right? What's right in front of me? So the only thing that could help you connect to this energy is faith. And so there's a deepening of faith here because it's a necessity. There's also a expansion of what you thought you were even capable of. There's a lot of emotions here. You're being very emotional, or something makes you very emotional, but that's a clue that if you've never acted like this before, this is really important to you. This was sent into your life to move you, change you, transform you, and push your capabilities beyond what they were before you met this. Freedom is yours. This is Aquarian energy. So you might be leaving a situation, moving on from a situation. Aquarian energy is definitely thinking outside of the box. Liberated mindset, really, or ability somehow to move around in ways that you hadn't ever done that before. Talking to different people that, maybe you've never even been able to come into contact with them. And just how interesting that is, how you think maybe, oh, I'm so different from people, or people are so foreign to me. And they're not when you actually talk to them. So this is broadening and expanding through community. This could also be moving on, moving forward. So for some of you, especially involved in a Pisces relationship with a Pisces, or some sort of creative project, you might be liberated in some way. Now that could liberate you from external obligations, or some of you might be liberated from the internal obligations of the relationship, whether that's breaking up or moving on or something like that. But also the relationship in and of itself could be what is liberating you from those confines that you were stuck in for so long. You're not anymore. And then we have time to collaborate. So there's definitely the central energy here is working together. Accepting that it's not all on you, and it's not all on you. In fact, not only is it not all on you, Capricorn, you couldn't do this alone. You wouldn't know how. You don't have the skill set for this. This is actually above and beyond you, which is the best place to be if you want to grow and improve yourself. But this is definitely about relationships, putting pieces together. I see you working tightly with somebody, even your hands, maybe building blocks or starting. I don't know if this is a new business, but you're definitely figuring your relationship out. Okay, and then we have take time out. Yeah, you're working yourself hard. This is up to you, of course, but this is definitely not this. You're working very hard on this. You're not gonna. In other words, this is something that you're working really, really hard to put these pieces together and not give up on this situation. You are determined to not maybe even let somebody get away, or You're determined to not give up on this situation. And you love that. I mean, there's nobody that loves to work more than a Capricorn. You just love it. It gives you it's almost like the work itself is giving you freedom. It's making you feel not confined, not dependent upon. It's work is good for you, dude. So just do it. This is the time to dig down and indulge. Go ahead and work as much as you want. Time for a deep dive. It's definitely about love and partnership. Romance, Libra energy. Maybe some of you were involved with somebody in the past, and it's almost like now you realize, oh my God, I understand why other things didn't work out. You like hard work. This is challenging where you are right now. Maybe that's why you like it so much. Because there's a challenge in a way that nothing else could challenge you. But we have time for a deep dive in the past, telling me that this is something to do with some sort of involvement, engagement, or connection, romantic liaison. I'm compelled to pull this. We have trust. Have you been having issues trusting? It's hard. It's hard because you want to trust, but there's still so many emotions that are dragging you down. And it's like the weightlessness of the air versus the heaviness of the water. The weightlessness of thought, the expansion of the brain, ideas, creativity, versus emotion, sucking you down, threatening to drag you under. It's almost like conceptually, I get it. I can understand and see and visualize where we're going, but emotionally, there's so much emotions. Are you dealing with somebody who's extremely emotional? Because that would make sense, right? The sense of, why is it to be so difficult all the time? Lighten up. Lighten up. Have you been wanting to say that to somebody recently? It could be that somebody does need to lighten up. But at the same time, it's like, you can't, people have to feel what they feel. You can't, saying lighten up to somebody, if they've said it to you, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's crushing. It's like, what are you thinking talking to me like that? It's not a derogatory term, but it's like, why are you belittling my feelings, right? There could be somebody here that feels unseen or emotionally like they're not either unfulfilled emotionally or like longing to share themselves in a way that they can't feel a connection. We have Treasure Island in reverse in the future. So that is not a really good sign for prosperity and abundance. The sense of constantly searching for what you're looking for, almost maybe losing yourself and not knowing what you're looking for. A lot of this may be that you're trying to convince yourself to make something work that's not supposed to. And now you have to question, why are you trying so hard to make it work? Is this just a romantic relationship? No, this isn't even about a romantic relationship. If it applies to your romantic relationship, listen up. But if it applies to your work relationship, anything, this is an energy reading. So just so that you guys know, this is a sense of you're starting to feel more and more frightened that it's not going to work out. And whether you've admitted it to yourself or not, you've already started to make preparations for it not working out, because you do feel vulnerable and exposed. You don't feel protected. You don't feel safe. And I don't know, I don't think this is physical safeness. This seems to be like emotional. You don't feel like there's some sort of you don't feel like you can really rely on this situation yet. Peace, it came out. So we have the imagery of an egg and a dove. A sense of, let's start over. Let's try again. Somebody extending the olive branch to somebody. So I don't feel like you're working with an irrational person. I don't feel like you're working with a person who doesn't value you at all. I think that you're working with somebody who is trying just as hard as you. But ultimately, there's this feeling. And listen, I want you to just take a breath right now. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Admit it to yourself. Have you been thinking, this shit is just not going to work out? What am I going to do with myself? First of all, just say it. It's not you ruining yourself or manifesting something you don't want. You have to honor this fear inside of you in order to make it go away. And so you need to honor the fact that there's some doubt in this situation, that this situation is going to work out. You're doubting it. And I think you have to accept it, feel it, and own it. And look at this. And in doing so, allow the emotion to pass and liberate yourself from the emotion, because it's clinging to you because you refuse to feel it, because you're afraid of what feeling it will do. But feeling it, what it's going to do is it's going to free you. It's going to free you from how much control over you it's starting to have. And now you'll be able to objectively sit back like the air, and you'll get to think about it. And that objectivity is exactly what you need right now. So there is conflict and defeat here that came out straight up. Some sort of change here. Losing of some kind. Maybe losing an opportunity, maybe losing a job, maybe losing some sort of riches or funding. Happy birthday, Doug Denny. Or losing something, conflict and defeat. Feeling like the wine has lost its taste, or the china is, or the silver is tarnished, kind of thing. Mental conflict is here because you're fighting with yourself. You're not allowing yourself to feel what you want to feel. You're trying to fight it. You're trying to convince yourself out of what you know. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Because when you stop doing that, you'll be able to look at things objectively, and you might be able to find a solution out of it. But you will not find the solution out of it if you keep trying to argue with yourself about it. That's the problem. And then we have heartache and loss, suffering here. Suffering. Why don't you want to feel this? Why are you trying to resist this sense of disappointment and hurt? Don't. Heart chakra might have something to do with a loss of a romance or relationship, but this is upright. So ultimately, this is a sense of your heart is open and broadening and expanding. It's interesting how if you stop resisting this feeling that you think is going to ruin everything, it's actually what's actually going to help everything. So stop fighting it. Awareness. Look at this. Connectivity to God. And understanding. In other words, you need help here, Capricorn. You need help from the eternal. Until you let go, you're not going to let this in. But this wisdom and knowledge is something that you don't have yourself. You are going to default, looking at what you already know. You have to think about this Piscean energy of what you don't know. And in order to connect with that, you have to disconnect with this argument and insistence that you're having in your head. Then we have destiny. What is their destiny? Your destiny lies beyond this loss. Your destiny is on the other side of this. What is this destiny? What is this? Ooh. Be graceful in movement and action. All of this is to teach you how to be more flexible and how to really discipline and hone your abilities. Your destiny is to master something, mastery of something. What is this destiny? I would like to know. What is this destiny? I would like to know. Your destiny is conflict, getting through red tape, getting through competition. Your destiny is competing. And maybe even this competing or a lot of like red tape and stuff, all of this stuff is going to be tough for you. What is this destiny? What is this destiny? Then we have the Hierophant, which is marriage. But we also have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, it's almost like all this craziness is what's defeating possibilities for stabilizing. You know, it's like maybe if this is a relationship, for example, something's going on in the marriage, this sense of, I just want to walk away from it because there's so much conflict here. Well, the conflict is because somebody's ignoring their feelings, right? Or unable to let go and connect to something outside of themselves. And there's just a sense of wanting to walk away because it's easier. Let's go to the extended. I hope you can enjoy that as well. The link is below. I hope if you will share this video, if you really like it, give it a like and thumbs up. I love you guys, and I hope to see you in the extended. Bye.